this Gaza thing, is that for real?
My guess is that's also a negotiating tactic.
Okay. What is he negotiating?
I think my guess is that it could be something like, okay, he's gonna be at the table with the Saudis soon, and he wants them to believe he's willing to do incredibly crazy things if they don't join the Abraham Accords. And so he wants them to fear that the US will have troops in Gaza, or he wants them to think there's even a 10% chance of that. And as a result, the Arab Street will go crazy. And if he feels that if they think that, if they worry about that, they'll be more friendly.
Okay.
And they'll have a fire under their ass to not drag out the negotiations or something. That could be the calculus. The thing about Trump, where I try to give him charity, is because his personality traits are generally so awful that if he was a guy I knew, I could not be friends with him. I would have to unfriend him. Like, if, you know, I don't have any friends with his personality traits, and I couldn't. But I do believe that he has a method that he thinks works, and he writes it in The Art of the Deal. It's like he believes it pays to be, I think, how do you put it, a little bit wild in the context of negotiation, and start with something a little bit wild, right? I think that can work. It can also backfire terribly, but it can work.
What I'm really scared of is that one day somebody's going to say, oh, okay, like, you want to buy all of Gaza? Then go for it. Cheers. Good luck. And then at that point, the United States either has to execute on an insane fucking thing that Trump has said, or we have to pull back. And I think that the scariest thing for Trump, and I think we might see this maybe today or tomorrow with these judicial orders, is if somebody calls Trump's bluff, well, what is Trump's act? Because both things, I think, are equally terrifying, to where we either have to execute on an insane thing that he said that was never supposed to, shouldn't have even been said, or the whole world sees, wait a second, Trump is full of shit on like every single thing he says, and now Trump's word has no credibility, and people start to pull back a lot more.
You know what's interesting about that, though? Is you and I both know that Trump is full of shit in a lot of ways.
Sure.
And yet, every time he says something crazy, there's still a part of us that reacts. Isn't that interesting?
No, because he's the president of the United States. I would expect to react if he's fucking crazy.